Hey guys, welcome to episode 21 of Simple Ken. This is actually a reshoot because I recorded the episode before and lost the footage. Haha. Thanks so much for joining me for episode 21. The last episode was fun. Had Jason on it, and before that I had Tara on it. So my inner friend circle has been covered with Simple Ken, and there are a lot more to go. It's like a never-ending supply of guests because I'll just get my friends. And also the goal was to get guests that you would not necessarily see on other streams. I also collaborate with All Comics anyway in their streams and in the stuff they do. So it's also a fun way for me to turn friend conversation, since I'm so bad at keeping in touch, into episodes. What have I been doing this week? You know, guys, this whole PS5 release is really... I can't believe that guy from Delhi trademarked PS5 so that the release would get delayed. See, stuff like this really happens to us because we don't deserve good things. That's been on my mind. I've been watching the Spider-Man Miles Morales videos on loop. I spoke to Rohan Joshi and he already started playing it. It's blasphemous. But he said he's not going to buy the PS5 till some games are out. But PS5 for me is more than just buying a gadget. It sounds like I'm advertising for it. I'm not. It's the PS5 is going to be the first console I can afford to buy when it's released. When the PS4 came out, I didn't have enough money. I never had a console. Jason, even though he claims to not be rich, I didn't bring this up in Jason's episode, but Jason had the first iPod. Yeah, when the iPod came out in America, Jason had it in India. And he had PlayStation 1 and 2. No, I think he had PlayStation 1. And can you imagine... I was playing that gun nonsense shit and playing, I don't even remember, Street Fighter on that cassette tape video game. And he had PlayStation 1, which used a disc. Yeah, so now the PS5 coming out is the first time I can afford to buy a console when it releases. And I think that means a lot because it's kind of like this whole childhood resentment of not having cool things. And it's not my parents' fault. They had priorities and they couldn't afford to buy such an expensive console for a child. But that's why I'm excited. I know I'm going to buy it and I'm not going to feel anything. It's just going to last for 10 minutes. And even the PS4 I have now, I barely use it. Once in a while when a game comes out, I use it. It's the classic irony of when you have time, you don't have the money. And when you have money, you don't have the time. I haven't also taken my motorcycles out for a good run. It's a shame, Kenny. You have everything you have, what you dreamed of when you were young, and it's not enough. Actually, it is enough. I guess I'm just bored. So first question is from Upa De Rock. Is this an anagram? Hi man, I'm Anup Singh. It's cool to see you set something interesting for your audience. Anup Singh. Okay, so he's Punjabi, I guess. Anup, I can see APO anagram in Opa Direct. I'm just fascinated by how you guys choose a username. It's cool to see you set something interesting for your audience when everyone's going through their own rough patches through the pandemic. Your work has got me to the beginning of my college, and I'm hopefully graduating this year. Poor guy, adding hopefully. I love hearing that there are a lot of college students who I was a companion for during all these years. And that's amazing because content creators and comedians were my companions when I was growing up. So it feels wonderful that I can do the same in some small way. I also love these comments where they're like, Kenny, I grew up watching you in school and now I'm in college. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty... I forget I'm 29, turning 30 next month, but it's so nice to hear that. Thank you for saying that, Anup. I live in Trivandrum, Kerala with my family. Wait, your name is Anup Singh. So are you a Malayali? Is one of your family members Punjabis? Interesting mix. I live in Trivandrum, Kerala with my family when the first lockdown was declared. I like how you said first. I was thinking about all the settlements in India, like East India Company, I don't know, and where people would have to constrict themselves into small spaces for weeks or months. That's true. When I started listening to your long recording, I was out on my terrace in the midst of Pachapam Haritabhavam, if that's the right way to pronounce it, which means everything green and nature bound. Oh, and I felt very blessed and grateful for the same. Oh, that's a nice way of how a tough sounding Malayalam proverb makes you feel better. For me, something that really resets me when I'm in a terrible, demotivated mood is I read a book. Not fiction, like an autobiography or a story of someone who's really achieved a lot by working hard, and that really inspires me, just resets me. I go from my career sucks, what am I doing with my life, to like there's so much to do. I love it. It's a wonderful reset on motivation. For him, it's going to his terrace and saying a very difficult Malayalam proverb. What's your take on Kerala? Because how we interact with people definitely looks and feels very Malayali-like. What does that mean? What is very Malayali-like? And the Malu uncle reference you did was spot on. Even I wasn't aware of that. Wow, so it was spot on even though you weren't aware of it. That's some next level relatability, dude. Where I make you aware of things you didn't know, but it was spot on. Am I a genius? So cheers, man. Stay blessed. Keep doing your thing. Thank you, Anup. This is such a wonderfully worded message. So many things. We get to know his background. We get to know how he feels emotionally. And he's asked a question. And he's sent me a wonderful encouragement at the end of it. I took this question up because I haven't spoken about Kerala as much as I want to. I did make a video on Kerala, which is about traveling to Kerala and my relationship with it. It was with Naveen and made a vlog out of it. It was fun. And a lot of people think I was raised in Kerala. I wasn't. I've never stayed in Kerala for more than 2 months. My dad was posted in Cochin when he was in the Navy for maybe when I was a baby. So I don't have any conscious memory of being in Kerala. I mean, obviously, Kerala for me was my vacations where every year I used to get the sweet 2 months school holidays. And used to go every year. And it's sad, but it was like the childhood bubble, right? Where I used to go to my uncle's house and life was amazing and everyone was happy, and we went to the stream to take bath. We used to pluck mangoes from the trees and run around. And then as I grow older, I realized so many family dynamics and the beautiful, pristine image of Kerala was shattered. Like most things happen. Most things get shattered when you become an adult and you find out that, that family is going through a lot, and you only saw the fun side. You didn't see the struggles and stuff. And also my native place is in Pala. And Pala also, I didn't know till I was older, is one of those places in Kerala which is foreign funded. Like a lot of the people go to Dubai or America, wherever, and they pour in money back. So I saw these amazing houses in Pala, and I thought like Kerala is this fancy place with amazing houses. And I realized no, only Pala is like that. But when I look back, I have a very interesting mix of experiences. Main thing is my dad being in the Navy, and Kerala is very matriarchal in some places. Like Pala is, I might be completely wrong. I'm just talking about my perspective. My uncle, for example, my other uncle, my dad's brother, his wife used to manage the finances, and still does, of the house, which was strange for me when I compare it to my house, which is more classical, where my dad manages the money. But it was very interesting to see how my uncle used to earn money and give money to her, and then she used to decide what happens in the family financially, because she was much more good at it, much better at it. And that was very cool to see. But at the same time, my dad told me when I was a baby and he used to pick me up, apparently people in Kerala used to kind of like mock him for, doing what a mom should do. But my dad ignored it because my dad's pretty cool and awesome. So at the same time, when I think it's matriarchal, my dad also reminds me that no, it's not as matriarchal as you think. But also education is a very important aspect in my family, and Kerala is very pro education. Again, I'm not generalizing. I'm not saying Kerala is full of geniuses, but I'm just talking from my experience where just in my family, people have very high IQs. Like my dad went to IIT. There are 4 or 5 professors in my family. My auntie is a chemistry professor. My grandparents, one of them was an English literature teacher. Another one was an economics teacher, if I'm not wrong. And all my cousins are brilliant. Like they have very high IQs. And my dad's dad focused on education so much to a point where I think that was more important than relationships. I think it was my grandfather's idea for my father to go to the defense, which my dad tells me he was not very inclined to do, but his father saw a lot of benefits. Like the defense covers your education, it gives you allowance, it eventually gives you pension. And I think my grandfather saw it as a one-way ticket for my dad to escape the confines of Kerala, because my dad was very good in studies and he was a topper of his class, and I think my grandfather could see that he would just be a top of the class, get a job in Kerala and just live and die there. But I think pushing my father into something, I think my dad was 16 or 17 when he joined the defense, then he went into NDA. So it's it's like putting a child into the wild, right? And my dad blossomed from that experience, and I think my family has my family's slogan, I think, is put yourself out there and get better. I think it would be very disappointing in my family if you don't learn something or get better from what you were from before. And I think that's a good motto to have. All my cousins are doing really well in their own fields, right? Yeah, I don't know if that's a Kerala thing or just my family. And also coming to defense, till 5th grade, 5th standard, my father was in the defense. So till then, we kept transferring, and I was exposed to people from every part of the country. So I know this might sound political, but till recently, I was never aware of how different I am, right? Like that I'm a Catholic Mallu from Bangalore. Like I never thought of it like that. Maybe I only thought of myself as, I'm from Bangalore, but nothing more than that. But recently, I think there is this bizarre focus on who you are and what religion you follow and where you're from. Because I never felt like that, because when you're in the defense, you're in a school of people who have transferred from all over the country. So being different was normal, right? In my class, there was not a large percentage of people from the same state. It never happened. They wouldn't be like 50% of the class won't be from Bihar or Orissa or Maharashtra or Karnataka. It was always diverse and everyone spoke different languages. So the only connecting languages were Hindi and English, because everyone had their own native. So everyone is bilingual or trilingual. Multilingual, is that a word? And so for me, my formative years, I was used to people being different. I would assume that you're from a state I don't know, or you speak a language I don't know. And that was normal. And I think when I came to Bangalore, I was still in Kendriya Vidyalaya, even though I completely criticize Kendriya Vidyalaya, rightfully so, for how terribly they treat their students. I was literally hit. It's a human rights violation. I could file cases against my teachers who physically hit me, which is not cool. And I haven't forgotten it. And I remember them by name. And I'm thinking, can you retroactively, file for abuse? Anyway, sorry, that was too serious. But I really have a lot of resentment to my teachers who thought it was okay to physically harm a child for discipline's sake. Coming to, I know I've said with Tara jokingly, we want to whack kids, but obviously we're joking. But what's even more incredible to me is a teacher who it's not related to you, has no rights over you, physically hitting you is just appalling. And if you're in school right now and if your teacher hits you, by the way, it's not normal. You can totally do something about it. Anyway, so what was I saying? So in Kendra Vidyalaya, also, even though my dad retired from the Navy, I was still surrounded by people from all over the country because, for example, one of my classmates would be the son of a scientist from NAL, and another one would be a Fauji kid. And their economic status is very different. A Fauji kid and a scientist kid. Scientist kid has a lot more money. So I was exposed to different economic backgrounds and different states well till my 12th. Only after my 12th is when I started realizing, I'm Bangalorean and Kannadigas and I'm South Indian. And then recently, with how the political climate is being, I was made aware that I'm also Catholic, and which never crossed my mind before. So I guess Kerala is just a very small part of how I'm shaped. But I think it would be lovely for you guys to also think about, while answering this question, I went on this wonderful adventure of where I've come from, and you should try that too. I think you should pretend like Anup asked you this question. How much has your native state influenced who you are and what you do? I think Kerala is a very small part of it. But I won't lie, I'm naturally drawn to South Indians because I guess, I don't generalize it, but they're usually less confrontational. I guess when I hang out with people from the north, I don't have the capacity to be that, what's the right word without pissing off anyone who's from North India. I know I might sound like I'm also separating people by where they're from, but this was an observation I got from stand-up actually, where when you perform in South India, East, West or North, there's a massive difference, and it's quite cool actually culturally. But all I'm saying is that I can't handle most Punjabis. Yeah, I said it. I love them though, but too much energy. Simple Ken. That's the name of the show. Aam Ka Achar, thank you. That's the next question from Aam Ka Achar. Straightforward. Username, great videos, Kenny. Thanks for taking time out for this. Appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome. I love taking time out for this because I get wonderful messages like this. I did a survey on Instagram asking what projects of mine do you look forward to, and everyone unanimously said Simple Ken. It's amazing how much this show means to you, because it means a lot to me, and I get very skeptical when both parties like it. Usually it's always one way. Like, for example, when I do stand-up, you do it so much that it stops being fun for you, but the audience loves it. And vice versa is when you do, I don't know, an Instagram story or something stupid, and the audience is like, what's that? But I had a lot of fun. This is one of the few things where both parties enjoy it. So I'm very skeptical. You haven't picked any of my questions yet. Of course, with so many questions, I understand that the odds are against me. Still, humanity rests on hope. They still do after 2020, okay. So here I'm posting yet another question bearing the risk of disappointment next week. It's a poet. It could also be because I don't ask for advice about problems in my life. You seem to tend towards picking those questions. Okay, first of all, listen up, Aam Ka Achar. I don't pick questions like that. Maybe I do, or maybe because they touch a subject that is intriguing. Okay? I don't always just take questions that makes me give advice. Aam Ka Achar. But I'm really not keen on asking those kinds of questions on a social media platform. Oh, okay, buddy. You're anyway anonymous. Instead, I would like to know more about you. Okay, now I know where it's going. My question, what do you do when you have time to spare from shooting, editing, etc.? I heard somewhere that you like watching YouTube videos before going to sleep. What else do you like doing? Do you still paint? Do you swipe on Tinder when bored? Sorry if it seems like multiple questions. It doesn't seem like it is multiple questions, but I really want to know more about you. Hope you pick my questions. Stay happy, stay safe, keep making awesome videos. Okay. First of all, I don't swipe on Tinder when I'm bored. I'm 29. Enough of that stuff. Nothing wrong with it. Just can't do that stuff anymore. I was on dating websites for a while, but it's, I don't know, man. I feel if you not automate, but make that also an app thing. For me, My whole life is based on social media and content and digital stuff. I don't want to make my dating life also that. But if you are using it, please go ahead. I think it's really helpful for some people. It's true though. Do you have time to spare from shooting and editing? I don't actually. I like this pandemic I've been sleeping a lot. I've been very grateful. I've been sleeping. So I sleep 8 to 10 hours. Okay, it's awesome. Then I get up and I have meals. If you have 3 meals, that's an hour each. I take an hour. I eat fast, but I try to watch something or chill. So those 3 hours are gone, 10 hours are gone. So 13 hours are gone. And then after that, shooting simple can, for example, if you count today, takes about an hour to edit and 2 hours, an hour to shoot and 2 hours to edit. 3 hours gone, 16 hours already. And then I usually read for 2 hours, which is awesome because I can. Because of the pandemic, I can't travel anywhere. So I have a lot of time that would have gone into like going to an open mic. So that's gone 16. And then I also started playing chess because Samay Raina, who is the inventor of chess in India, he has asked me to be on Comedians on Board. So chess on board, Comedians on, Comedians on Board, COB3, the third. And I said yes. And bizarrely, I'm into chess right now. So I play chess for an hour. So that's 17. And I meditate. That takes about 20 minutes. I know I included that. And I exercise every alternate day. That's another hour and a half because you work out and then you take bath and you're recovering from the shock you gave your body. 18. So, and what else? Yeah, maybe I watch a movie. That's 2 hours. So as you can see, my day usually, or if I do a stream, that's another 2 hours. So my day gets over pretty quickly. I usually don't have time. Because of the pandemic I do, because otherwise I'll go to an open mic or add traveling to another city for a show, for a corporate show, or a college show. And I'm working on a brand project or shooting something which is not simple can. Could be making a reel, which takes about half an hour to shoot and edit. So yeah, it's I would say that I'm very conscious about the time of day. I don't have experiences where I'm like, where did the whole day go? I'm very aware of my time of day. So I do paint and sculpt. I do little clay stuff now, but I do paint once in a while. Ken and Chip also is technically I count as drawing. I draw the key sketch. And speaking of key sketch, I want to say how beautifully formatted Amka Acha's comment is. It's very beautifully written. I really like it. As I said, time and money. I have 2 motorcycles that I don't get time to ride. Now I do. I ride once in 2 weeks, which is very sad actually. So and I don't game anymore because if I game, I feel very guilty. So usually if it's a game I'm looking forward to, for example, Spider-Man or Assassin's Creed, then maybe I'll play. But that also doesn't last for too long because I'm very scared of wasting time. YouTube watching before I sleep is something I'll do for the rest of my life. I have been doing that since 2007, since YouTube came to India. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's beautiful because I see YouTube as a rough notebook of the entire world's creativity. It's where you make something that brings you joy. For example, a video where you've voiced over your dog and your dog's farting or something and it makes you laugh and you put that up on YouTube and anyone in the world can watch it. I think it's amazing. It's a way to see art for free. And I think that's incredible. Not just YouTube, like Instagram or Pinterest or this content and everything I've learned from YouTube. I learned how to edit, how to design. So it's just incredible. I just watch VFX breakdowns of movies. I used to do this before the Corridor Cruise series, which you should check out, which is called VFX Artist React. I just love just strange videos about the world. Like one video will be how an octopus can camouflage. The next video will be like, this is how they did the visual effects in Lord of the Rings. Then the next video will be a cover of a song by some girl sitting in a bedroom who has the voice of an angel, and the next video is how to maintain your motorcycle, and another video is how to invest in the stock market, and another video is the PlayStation 5, how they used SSDs to change how games are loaded in a console and how that will affect game design forever. And I'm just like, these are like 7 videos. It's such a wide range. And then there'll be another interview of an amazing person. I mean, like Steve Jobs or Gates or Dalai Lama. I can just watch a 10-minute conversation about them. It's incredible. And that's the stuff that's in my brain before I go to sleep. I love doing that shit. It's awesome. And also now that I'm in Goa, I go play with some dogs also. Yeah. The dog, so if sometimes I go down, I nicely smother some dogs. It's a great life. Next question by Sasha Singh. Hi, I hope you're doing well. I'm 16 and in high school. Oh, we have a young listener. I sometimes feel like I don't have any close friends. I do have a fair amount of friends. Oh, okay. We don't have close friends. Okay. But I don't feel like I'm part of any friend group. Like if I go to a party, then everyone has a group, but I don't have one. That makes me feel kind of lonely sometimes. I've been trying to work on myself because I think that if so many people don't want to be friends with me, then I must be doing something wrong. But for now, I wish I had closer friends. How do you deal with this? Ayo. Okay, first of all, Sasha, you're very adorable and wonderful way of formulating this question. And also kudos to you for saying that I must be doing something wrong instead of saying there's something wrong with me. That's a wonderful approach. That also, I will not dismiss your problem just because you're 16 and be like, oh, friends are just a phase. When you're 16, you're right. Yeah, that's the most important thing in your life. And I think it's also the age you figure out how friendships work. It's good that you do have friends. It's just that you feel like you're not close to them. What really helps me is figuring out how many friends I actually want. I used to also feel like this. I used to go to parties and I used to just hate the fact that some people walk into a party and they know everybody and I'm still like, hi, I'm Kenny. But do you really want close friends? Because close friends are a lot of maintenance. Like once you get close friends, your friend will be like, hey, we need to do this stuff together. And if you don't do this stuff together, your close friend gets upset. Or you get close to someone else and this first close friend is like, why are you getting close with her? So it is a lot of maintenance, okay? And second, you figure out, Sasha, what is definition of close friends to you? Is it having a group of people in a party? Is it talking to someone every day? Is it playing together every evening somewhere? Is it going for classes together? Sorry, I'm drinking some water. So you need to figure out what is your definition of close friends. Maybe, Sasha, good news. Some of your friends consider you as a close friend, but you don't see it that way. So your definition of close friends, first figure out what is important to you. And then you're like, actually, I don't miss having close friends. I just want someone to talk to every day. And start doing that with a friend. And see if they get annoyed. Or they also like talking to every day. Or you can get 2 birds with 1 stone. Maybe you also want to focus on playing a sport more or want to go for walks more. Then have a friend that you can go for walks with. Or you want to start gaming. Have a friend that you say, hey, every Friday we're going to game together. I don't know if you're into gaming. But yeah, I think I was in my head too much when I was 16. And I used to assume that if something is happening, it's my fault. But I keep forgetting that they're also going through some stuff. So also there's a pandemic going on, Sasha. Maybe they're freaking out. 16 means 10th standard, right? Or 9th standard. I was born December 31st. That's why I keep getting confused. I was always the youngest guy in my class. So when I finished 12th, I was 17. So I was in college at 17. So yeah, Sasha, I hope that helped. And thank you for listening to Simple Ken. And I would just say, don't it could be worse, Sasha. You could not have any friends. You do have some friends. And this friend group thing also is a lot of maintenance, I'm telling you. So you're in a good position. Maybe you just need 1 friend. And I would have been happy with having 1 or 2 friends. I'm lucky to have more than that. And as you grow older, Sasha, you will realize they only get lesser. And the same friends kind of stick on. Also, you have college to look forward to. Some people I know are closer to their college friends than their school friends, and vice versa. So, a lot to look forward to. And this last question is by Pratham S. This was a fun rant. The ending was a bit abrupt though. Would love to see another long recording of you with Tara. Oh yeah, this question actually I took from Tara's website. Not website, Tara's video. Actually the ending was abrupt because Tara's phone died while we were recording the episode. So after we finished, we found out later. That's why the last 20% is missing, and it was a very nice 20%. So I regret that that part is not there. But I'll do more with Tara if Tara's game. Also, I was curious, what is your perspective on people who are on 9 to 5 job and want to explore the creative side, like maybe painting or music? Like how should they transition, make a reality check to switch to the other side? Many times it's just an impulsive feeling and not passion. Also was surprised with 2 episodes, Simple Ken, coming so soon. Thanks, take care. I'm sorry, Pratham, that you're surprised that I'm so productive. It's getting ridiculous. Getting ridiculous up in here, man. Huh? Being sarcastic with my regularity. So, by the way, I re-recorded this episode. Otherwise, this would have been out today, which is Tuesday. But look how I'm doing my job. Pratham, I took this question because I have answered this differently in other episodes, but I wanted to talk about the 9 to 5 aspect. I've worked in 9 to 5 for 3 months when I was in college because I wanted so desperately to make money and be self-sufficient. So I tried everything. So I was simultaneously doing college and working a 9 to 5 job, which means that I bunked college for 3 months. Thank you for that degree, my college. I really appreciate it. I took this question because when you have something as a passion, it's a lot of fun. The reason that I'm assuming you are doing painting and music right now, and when you do your 9 to 5 job, and on the side you do painting or music, it's very fulfilling because you're like, oh, this is so nice. I feel free. You feel free because you're not earning a living out of it. So the moment you do what you love and also make a living off of it, there is a certain shittiness that gets added to it. If you didn't have a 9 to 5 job and you only did painting as your livelihood, you no longer can paint what you want. You start having deadlines for paintings. Your clients have a specific request for painting styles that you might not want to do, but you have to do because you want that money and that paycheck. Even music, man, I don't even get me started on how you make money with music. You can't. I mean, if you're making money through music, you're very, 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 very lucky. You're more blessed than a stand-up comedian because I think it's far harder to be a musician and make money than being a stand-up comedian in India, because stand-up comedian, just the tech requirement is a mic and speakers, which most auditoriums have. Music involves you having, oh my God, like a mixer and good sound and equipment, which is so expensive, and an audience who's going to come to see you. That's going to at least even out your cost, right? So having a 9 to 5 and doing something on the side is amazing. Do that. That's the ideal goal. People underestimate how awesome it is to have a 9 to 5 job. You don't have to take care of employees. You only have a boss to please. You are getting a monthly income. You get benefits from the company. You get healthcare if your company gives it to you. Sometimes the company gives you a car. There's so many benefits to working in a company, and if you do your job well, you might get promoted. You might get bonuses. That's lovely. And on the weekends, if especially you have a 9 to 5 job and they don't overwork you, you can come home in the evening and switch off. You don't have to think about your company. You don't have to think about your career too much, And on the weekends, you can do what you love, which is music or painting. And if you start making money on that, great, that's extra income. Use that to invest in some good, cool shit, or invest in yourself, or go on vacation with that surplus income you're getting. Never quit your 9 to 5 job unless you are making twice of what you are from your 9 to 5 job from your passion. And then voila, what a beautiful transition. there is no doubt you're like, yo, my paintings are making me twice as much as I make from my salary, and I have a good client list, I can quit my job. So the answer comes to you when you do it this way anyway. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's bad. And just because you have a passion, yes, does not mean you will have that same passion for 30 years. If you like painting and music today, you might not like it 20 years later. So be very careful to make your passion your career. Do I think I'll do stand-up till I'm 50, 60? I don't know. I don't think so. Because obviously you grow as a person. Your likes and dislikes change. Maybe I would like to get into teaching. But if you have a job that is not attached to your liking or dislikes, and you make money out of it, and it serves the function of giving you financial, gives you an income, right? Then you do something for passion is beautiful, because you have something for income and something for passion. Mixing both is not as pleasant as you think. Also, when you work and you get feedback or corrections or pushback from a client, it's not personal, it's just work. But if you become a musician or a painter and you get feedback or pushback, it really hurts, because it's you, it's your expression, it's who you are, it's your talent. So it's not as emotionally stable as well. So there's financial volatility and emotional volatility. It's not as amazing as you think. So thank you for this question, Pratham. And yeah, I hope you're not surprised too much with this episode coming out. It was a good week though I had, because I've been reading a lot about so many things. I've been reading about financial stability. I've been reading about where you are, types of career, what age. And I think I have this privilege because I started working from a very young age. So I kind of feel like I have a 3-4 year head start. And I'm very lucky that my stand-up career worked out. So I also know how it feels to do what you love. I also know how it feels to work for a company. And I also know the value of saving money, the value of working and getting skills. I realize every single thing I've done has always helped with something else. When I was 21, I edited a feature film. That editing knowledge, that living with that deadline and that pressure kind of prepared me for more deadlines and pressures and taking up responsibility. I did some training for corporate peeps when I was 21, 22 on personality development. I learned theater when I was young, which has helped me with my stand-up. I learned graphic designing on YouTube, which helped me gain income when I was in college. So I think from a very young age, I was lucky that I focused on getting skills and saving money and delaying instant gratification for a long time, so that now, at least now in my 30s, I can cool down a bit and do things now for passion. Anyway, I'm blabbering on. I think this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for listening. And also, audio listeners, I have a very sweet part of my heart reserved for you. Not that the video listeners don't matter. It's just that I find it fascinating that you guys only listen to this. It's really cool. Thank you for doing that. I mean, I do invest a lot to make sure the sound quality is nice. So thank you so much for listening. Only audio wise, that's also very interesting to me. The Apple and the Google podcast listeners, thank you. And for the video guys, thank you so much for watching my face. Also, please leave questions in the comments or on my Instagram page, which is Simple Ken Podcast. Please leave questions, because more and more it's getting harder to find questions, because most of you are writing very sweet things in the comments, but you're not writing questions. You don't even have to write questions. Maybe just put a thought out there, or a subject that you would like me to explore, or something you want me to talk about. And because also what's happening is you guys unconsciously pick up what I'm saying from the episode and ask me the same question. So right now you heard this and you'll ask a question that I was talking about anyway. So a lot of those questions get cancelled out, because I'm like, ayo, you've done this unconscious thing of listening to something and then asking that back as a question. So, but yeah, it's a lot of work for you guys. My feedback is mostly for you guys. But thank you for listening. I had fun recording this. And Until the next episode, don't get too surprised, guys, including Pratham. Hopefully you have a wonderful week ahead. Yeah, I said week because I'm not doing monthly anymore. Booyahs. Okay, guys, I'm going to say bye now. Have a wonderful day ahead of you. Tata, bye-bye.
It's time for simple